Welcome. You have arrived at STEM City, USA, a safe and trusted community where you can find people and resources to help you become everything you are and beyond, accessible to all who reach for the stars. What if you could build your own city? A place where every child can find nurturing people to help them achieve their full potential. A place where every adult can access job training support, where health education is abundant, where social justice ruled the land. A place without limitations. Welcome. You have arrived at STEM City, USA. It is what every city should be. A safe and trusted community where you find people and resources to help you become everything you are and beyond. STEM City is unlike anything you have ever experienced. It is a digital twin of the world around you, only better. STEM City is about energy and soul renewal. It is more than a digital world. You can almost feel the power of live cultural events, music, and theater. STEM City promises a better future for children with caring mentors and hands-on activities with dedicated tutors to support our youth. STEM City is your passport to a healthy lifestyle with weekly events addressing our community's many issues. STEM City is your financial well-being with helpful information on wealth management, career advancement, job training, and so much more. STEM City is the community you deserve. It is the city where your dreams can come true. STEM City, USA, a place in the sky that is accessible to all who reach for the stars.
Calling all future STEM pioneers, leaders, and career champions. Join us on every second Saturday of the month for the BEA Career Day. BEA STEM Career Day is all about creating opportunities for students to venture into the world of STEM through the eyes of professionals. You'll meet mentors and presenters that will give you a sneak peek into the many options available to you in the field of STEM. Hosted by teen ambassadors, you'll find yourself among inspiring peers just like yourself that are aiming high for their future. To take part in the BEA STEM Career Day on Zoom, visit fullstemahead.us and register for the next session. Again, that's fullstemahead.us. BEA, becoming everything you are.
A world of careers unleashed. You can get it at BEA. Become everything you are.
What if you could build your own city? A place where every child can find nurturing people to help them achieve their full potential. A place where every adult can access job training support, where health education is abundant, where social justice ruled the land. A place without limitations. Welcome. You have arrived at STEM City, USA. It is what every city should be. A safe and trusted community where you find people and resources to help you become everything you are and beyond. STEM City is unlike anything you have ever experienced. It is a digital twin of the world around you, only better. STEM City is about energy and soul renewal. It is more than a digital world. You can almost feel the power of live cultural events, music, and theater. STEM City promises a better future for children with caring mentors and hands-on activities with dedicated tutors to support our youth. STEM City is your passport to a healthy lifestyle with weekly events addressing our community's many issues. STEM City is your financial well-being with helpful information on wealth management, career advancement, job training, and so much more. STEM City is the community you deserve. It is the city where your dreams can come true. STEM City USA, a place in the sky that is accessible to all who reach for the stars.
STEM City USA Healthy Doses series is your passport to a balanced lifestyle. Hosted by Dr. Tiffany Anderson and presented in the Boston Scientific Auditorium. And now, Dr. Tiffany Anderson.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Happy Saturday, and welcome to another episode of Healthy Doses. Healthy Doses is streaming live right now in the STEM City USA metaverse. We are grateful to have you. STEM City is brought to you by Boston Scientific. It is a show that we've created to give you the tools, the tips, and everything you need to be the best you possible. Now, today is
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Healthy Doses. I'm Dr. Erica Watson. Thank you for joining us today. My apologies, something went wrong with technology. So here we are back. We're going to have a discussion today about Thanksgiving. As we approach Thanksgiving, it's wonderful to have the concept and the practice of giving and gratitude and appreciation, of course. However, we're also physically filling up our bellies. And so there are ways to bring in love and health and gratitude to our bellies as we move into the season. I'm Dr. Erica Watson, as I mentioned before. I'm a clinical nutritionist. I am also an educator. I'm an anti-racist and pro-equity educator and advocate. I'm a community health provider, and I'm a health scientist. I have a lot of experience in working with different populations and encouraging the healthiest lifestyle possible. So let's get started today. And oh, by the way, because I'm an educator, it's pretty classic for me to present information and then ask for your feedback. So if at any point you want to ask a question or provide some kind of information or make a comment, please put it into the chat and hopefully we'll have a chance to address it. Here's our menu for today. We are going to start off by talking about filling, the concept of filling, and then we're going to talk about filling with and for love. I'll provide some tips for Thanksgiving. By the way, Ray, thank you for that. We'll talk about different ways to fill ourselves up during this upcoming holiday celebration, however you perceive it. And then we will close out with your questions, and then I will have a chance to answer those questions. First of all, let's talk about what does filling actually mean? Well, a lot of times we might think about filling up our gas tank or filling up our physical bodies with food. You can fill up a wheelbarrow with leaves. You can fill up a container with water. No matter what it is a process of adding something to a space or a container or a body or an entity. And when we approach Thanksgiving, many of us are out buying food so that we can cook it, so that we can sit with our families and our friends and kind of overstuff ourselves. We all know, everybody knows we tend to overstuff ourselves. And we also think about ways that we can fill up someone else's basket, perhaps someone who is living in poverty or who's just having a temporary challenge or struggle and they don't have the food that they need or they don't have the supplies that they need for the holiday. And so we might think about filling as giving to them and filling up what they need. There are so many ways to think about filling. And I think it's important, especially on a day when we talk about gratitude and thanks, to consider, hey, wait a minute, I'm filling up my physical body. How else, though, can I fill where I am and fill from who I am? Well, there are a few ways that we're filling up on Thanksgiving, and one of them would be using plants as foods. Oh my goodness, plants. Yes, we eat plants. We eat plants all the time. Collard greens are plants. Sweet potatoes are plants. Corn is a plant. All of these foods that we have to chew and enjoy are plants, and they fill us with fiber, they fill us with nutrients, they fill us with water, they fill us with some fats, they fill us with protein. Yes, not only animal products have protein, plants have lots of protein too. And so using these foods as primary sources of energy and fun and flavor on Thanksgiving is one way that we can help to fill ourselves up on Thanksgiving Day. Also, drinking lots of water is generally great for our cells, and we can talk more about that in an upcoming episode. However, it also physically takes up space in our stomachs, and so it triggers us to feel like we're more full. Therefore, we don't have to eat quite as much. Again, I know we all enjoy overstuffing sometimes, and it's okay. It's just if we can fill up with some water, perhaps we won't overstuff quite as much and end up with the indigestion and the discomfort that come along with Thanksgiving often. If we can prepare foods with people we love and prepare those foods with love, for example, partner up with a family member or a friend while you're cooking, then we're pouring in and we're filling up this glass, I guess you could think of it as, filled with love and gratitude. Whenever we make food with the intention of making sure that it's nutritious, that it tastes good, that we may be giving it to someone else, we are automatically, by default, filling ourselves and filling another person with love and gratitude. Love, it's just there. We could talk about love all day. The concept of love is so vast that it can cover anything. When we talk about holidays, especially celebrating, we're talking about coming together as human beings and animals, because a lot of us have pets. We're talking about perhaps going to someone's home and seeing them for the first time in a long time. We're talking about remembering our ancestors. We're talking about honoring our ancestors. We're talking about memories that we've made together. We're talking about events that are upcoming. We're talking about updates. And we are also maybe singing and dancing together. These are all a part of love, especially that we experience around the holidays or celebration times of the year. All right, I have some tips for us here. So we're going to focus in on the screen here, the yellow. These are tips for Thanks filling for this year for you. These are my recommendations for you. I'm, again, a clinical nutritionist. My organization is called Wise Tree Health Connections, and we'll talk a little bit more about that later. I tend to emphasize for my patients ways that they can fill themselves with the most nutritious foods from the most filling and the healthiest perspectives possible. So tip number one is cook if you can. If you're that person who goes to Thanksgiving and you say, no, I can't cook anything, I'm not a good cook, it's okay. Find something that you can cook and contribute it. I was talking with a few friends a few weeks ago about, could we be that person who goes to Thanksgiving without anything, maybe macaroni and cheese-ish? Maybe we bring something different. Maybe we bring a butternut squash macaroni and cheese with no dairy. Could we do that? We could try it, right? That could be maybe our contribution. Will we still be accepted by family? Yes, it's okay. You can try it. So cook if you can. Use as many plant-based whole foods as possible. Plant-based means foods that grow from the ground, that grow on trees. It could mean seaweed. These are plants, mushrooms, onions, garlic, green beans, etc. These are all foods that we consider to be plants and fungi. We'll talk about that in another episode. Use as many of these as you can. And when we say whole, we mean perhaps if you can, buy the whole sweet potato, wash it, cut it up, and then cook it. I see a question just came across the screen. What are the dishes to stay away from if you can't cook? I'm not sure if I can answer this. If you want to cook it and you follow the recipe and you can do it, then go all in. I'm not sure if there's a dish that you should stay away from in particular. In this case, though, if you're not comfortable with cooking, I highly recommend making sure you stick to a recipe that is definite and true and good and tried and true, and perhaps online has gotten 5 stars repeatedly. Thank you for that question. Some examples of plant-based whole foods that we can use, that we often use at Thanksgiving anyway, include collard greens and kale and broccoli, green beans. Some people might cook peas. Sweet potatoes, definitely. Sweet potatoes are loaded with vitamins and nutrients, and sweet potatoes also, well, all plants contain water. That's part of the reason that sweet potatoes are so heavy and dense, is because they have a lot of water and a lot of fiber. Potatoes in general, it's okay to eat mashed potatoes. When someone says, oh, I'm watching my carb intake, first of all, we all know probably at Thanksgiving, probably you're not managing your carb intake so much. So make the best of it. Eat as many plants as possible. And it's okay to eat mashed potatoes. If you can make them without any dairy products, even better. Cranberries, I have a newfound love for cranberry sauce. My daughter makes a wonderful cranberry sauce. Cranberries have vitamin C, they have vitamin E, they are vibrant, they are flavorful, they're engaging. Eat some homemade cranberry sauce. Definitely herbs and spices, wherever you can put herbs and spices in, especially thyme and rosemary and parsley. Those are typically spices that we associate, herbs that we associate with around this time of the year. Rich, herby substances that add depth of flavor, that add nutrients, that add anti-inflammatory components. Eat them all. Here's a quick recommendation for collard greens. I know that most of us grew up, or a lot of us grew up eating collard greens that were cooked with smoked animal of some kind of smoked pig, ham hock, turkey wing, etc. Try this year, just try, and try not to feel guilty about it. Just try cooking those collard greens with only garlic, onions, and we're talking about a lot of garlic and onions, olive oil, salt, pepper, and maybe some red pepper flake. Just try and see. Maybe you could be that person who shows up with the collard greens that have no animal protein in them. Just see. And if you do it, please let me know. This next point for today is to drink water. We mentioned this before. Filling up with water keeps you hydrated. It keeps you focused. It enables you to be able to dance more during Thanksgiving. It also keeps us feeling more regular, being more regular, which means we can produce better bowel movements. And that's stuff that people usually want to talk about. It's the truth. We're humans. We have to eat, and it has to come out somehow. So the combination between eating a lot of plants and drinking a lot of water during Thanksgiving, Thanksfilling, will actually cause us usually to have better bowel movements, which enables our bodies to get rid of toxins. So you know how a lot of us will eat a lot of turkey and we're taking in a lot of chemical called tryptophan, and then afterwards we feel so tired, and we ate a lot of carbs too. We feel so tired. If we were to switch out, say, 3/4 of that turkey for more vegetables and more water, you'd still feel really full. You just wouldn't pass out, probably wouldn't pass out after dinner. And then the next day you could feel more alive, and you might have a really good bowel movement. I'm just saying bowel movements are good for health. Number 3, be intentional with your conversations. When you're sitting around the table, take the time to ask a family member, hey, what's been going on lately? Or maybe tease that family member about, oh, I like your hair. I like how you did your hair today. Or maybe share something recently that you experienced that was fun. Take the time to be intentional with these conversations. By intentional, I mean on purpose, ask questions, probe a little bit, share more than you normally would. This is a time when we all come together. We're all having fun. Usually, it could also be a sad time of reflection. And it is an opportunity for us to talk, however it is that you talk. Number 4, listen and dance to music. Turn on the music. I don't know how else to describe this. Turn on the music and dance, and encourage all those around you to dance as well. Again, time for coming together. It may also be, as I mentioned before, a grieving time. So perhaps this is an opportunity to play some soft music or some music that reminds you of someone. In any case, try to move if you can. If you're not in the spirit of dancing, maybe you could hold someone's hand, or maybe you could walk around outside. Take a walk outside. So let's try to move. In fact, maybe number 4 should just be move. And number 5, give, welcome in, and be filled by love. Give compliments. Help out where you can. Please, when you're in the kitchen and you see somebody cooking and they throwing pots and pans all over the place, please offer to wash something. Please wash something. Share. Again, share your plate, share conversation, share a hug, share a kiss, and listen. Take the time to listen. What I think is really phenomenal is that listening during holidays often allows us to hear from multiple generations in the same household. So take some time to listen. Listen usually means you're quiet and you're focused on that person. Culturally, listening could look a little bit different, though, with regards to whatever you practice. So keep that in mind. We have a question. How much water do you recommend for each day? This is really clinical nutrition-ish. So there's no way that I can tell everyone who's listening, oh, you should drink this much water every day. This is really based on your individual clinical nutrition needs. Generally, it's good to have about a glass of water every hour or 2 hours if you can, in general. Now, those of you who have health concerns, those of you who work out, those of you who may have imbalances with water in general, that's where the difference comes in. So I usually don't say drink XYZ number of glasses per day because it's really individualized, but that's a general rule. And if you can drink before you become really thirsty, that's helpful as well. Okay, I think we do. We have time for questions and comments. Please send them in. Again, I'm Dr. Erica E. Watson. I am a clinical nutritionist and I have a clinical nutrition practice. You can email me at wisetreehealthconnections@gmail.com and set up an appointment. If you scroll all the way down to the bottom, almost the bottom of the website, there's a place there for you to sign in, to get set up with an appointment. My schedule is all laid out there. And what we'll do is we'll talk about your health history, mental health history, ethnic, cultural background, cultural practices, etc. And I will collaborate with whichever providers you're already working with, physicians, mental health providers, other clinicians in general, and work with you. We'll collaborate, you and I, to come up with a clinical nutrition plan that's designed specifically for your needs. While we move into this season, I want us to really think about different ways to fill up our bodies with the healthiest foods and the healthiest options possible, and also fill up others with those options as well. An example just came to mind. Let's say you're at Thanksgiving and everybody's throwing down. Yes, Linda, thank you for your question. Everyone's throwing down, and you look at the spread on the table, and there are foods that are green, that are yellow, that are red, and that are orange. I recommend eating the foods that are green, that are red, that are yellow, and that are orange. Why? Because they're most likely plant-based. We have a question here from Linda. Can I share any recipes? I can share a recipe off the top of my head. It is not exact. However, here is a general recipe for Dr. Watson's collard greens. So you're going to chop up or slice up 2 onions, a whole bulb of garlic, and saute those in olive oil. Sprinkle on salt and pepper. Add your collard greens that have been washed, chopped, however you normally prepare them. Add your collard greens. Add some smoke flavoring, whichever brand you prefer, and boil the greens until they're soft to your liking. At the end, add a little bit more olive oil, because I think collard greens, part of the reason that we cook them with animal fat is because the oil enhances the flavor of the greens. Well, oil enhances the flavor of a lot of foods. And also, it's just lovely. It's a lovely sensation in our mouths. So finish off with a little bit more extra, extra virgin olive oil. And then perhaps if you need to add a touch more salt, and boom, there you go. I make mine with a lot of red pepper flakes, so they're super spicy. Those of you who like to make them with vinegar, you could have vinegar at the end. Those of you who like to make collard greens with sugar, go for it. I would add the sugar at the end, probably halfway through. And then when you serve them, make sure that you're serving someone else. You're not just plunking them on the table. Make them look as good as possible. And serve the person next to you. Serve the person in front of you. Serve whomever is around you. In serving, we are also filling. Oh, is there some way to join a group of yours to help us be accountable to ourselves to actually do these things? If you send me an email at wisetreehealthconnections@gmail.com, we can certainly start up a group. I would love to do an accountability group. That actually sounds really fun. Yes. I also post tips on my website, which is wisetreehealthconnections.com. You can check out tips there as well. However, I think that's a great idea to have an accountability group moving forward. I'm looking for any other questions and comments. And while we're waiting, oh, here we go. Are there any holiday games you recommend to keep everyone entertained? So we have this thing in my family. I don't like to play card games ever unless it's Uno. However, everyone else on the whole planet likes to play card games and board games. I recommend anything. Now, just a heads up, if you do play dominoes or bidwis, things might get a little bit stressful. So perhaps drink a lot of water ahead of time for two reasons. One, to keep you focused, and two, to give you an excuse to have to get up to go to the bathroom so you can take a mental break so that nobody gets all worked up during these games. Actually, spades and bidwis and dominoes can ignite a little bit of tension in the family. So just try to keep it as lighthearted as you can. I also recommend games like let's go outside and see who can, I don't know, do the most jumping jacks before you eat dinner. Or let's play the game of, can you guess who I am? Or can you guess XYZ? Or can you recall an event that we all experienced together? Anything that brings folks together is good. And I want to thank you so much for joining today, for us having an opportunity to talk about filling and different ways that we can fill ourselves healthfully and healthily, and different ways we can fill others as well. And I look forward to, at some point, hearing from you about what you experienced for this holiday season. And I hope and pray that your upcoming holiday and season of celebration are peaceful and healthy, and that they encourage lots of love and lots of filling up of each other and of yourself. Thank you.